Hi, welcome to Skein Studio. My name is Kristen. You can find me on Ravelry as K10, that's K10, and on Instagram as Skein Yarn. This is episode number 63, and yeah, how are you all? I hope you're all well. I had a pretty sad week last week. I lost my grandmother. She passed away on Tuesday last week, and we went to the funeral on Friday. And it was obviously very sad. We knew that she wasn't well and hadn't been well for quite some time, so it wasn't like it was a complete shock, but yes, it was very upsetting. We drove down last Friday to my parents' place, which is in Foster, where my grandmother actually had moved to be closer to my mum, who was caring for her. And we drove down and back in the same day, so it was a huge trip. It was like 6 hours down and back, and we had to be there early. It was, I think the funeral started at 10, so we had to leave here at 6 or something in the morning. But anyway, it was such a lovely funeral. My grandmother would have loved it. My gran wasn't very religious, so it was sort of a community church, and it had been done out, like decked out really nicely with kind of old-fashioned raffia chairs, and the church itself was this beautiful white cottage. It was really nice. The service was great, and of course my mum, who was my mum's mother, and her two sisters got up and did really nice speeches. One of my cousins got up, and I would not have been able to say a word. I was so upset. But anyway, yeah, she would have really enjoyed it. So yeah, obviously I didn't record last week because of that. I also had my mum up here with my dad. They were originally coming up last weekend, but we thought they might have cancelled it because of Gran passing away, but I think Mum needed to get away too, and it was good. I had her up here, and both my mum and dad, and I spoiled them. I just made them do nothing and cooked them nice meals. Well, my husband cooked them nice meals, and I made them nice breakfasts, and yeah, just sort of pampered them, so it was good. So yeah, that was last week. This week we finished work. We finished on Thursday, so we are now officially on holidays, which is awesome. The weather here is beautiful. It's completely summer here now. It's just hot. It's really hot and humid, which is great now, but come February, March, yes, you're sort of really looking forward to winter, but at the moment we love it. I've actually, as you can see, I've got really wet hair. Just come back from our morning swim. If we're on holidays or it's the weekend and it's summer, we always have breakfast and then walk down to the beach and have a swim, which is just beautiful. It's actually quite cold. I think there's some sort of current that's coming in. I know my dad said that there's the Christmas king tides were last week, I think, and they're huge big tides where the water comes right up. And actually we went in last week for a swim, and the tide was incredibly high, but it was also going out, so you had to be really careful because you could feel yourself being pulled out into the ocean. So yeah, but yes, the water's actually quite cool at the moment, which is, it's very nice. It'll eventually get warmer again. So yeah, I think that's all the catch up. Yeah, so we're just enjoying holidays. It's been fantastic, and I have planned lots and lots of things. Oh, I just did want to say that next week Paul and I are heading to Western Australia. We're going to visit Paul's parents, who live in Fremantle. We always really enjoy going there. So that will be, I think we leave here on the 20th, and we don't come back until Boxing Day, so I will probably be skipping next week's podcast, but the week after that, which I think is just before New Year's, I will definitely be putting another podcast out there then. And also I have now officially stopped posting on iTunes, and I can tell you it makes a huge difference to podcasting. I think because it takes so long to upload onto iTunes through this place that I put my podcast, they sort of host the podcast. It takes so long, it's just so frustrating, and it usually puts me off doing the podcast, which is not great, but I have stopped doing it. So YouTube is just so fantastic because you just edit the podcast and it sucks it up really quickly and you're done. So that's what I'm doing from now on, and it's working really, really well, so yay for that. Okay, let's get into what I've been knitting. I've been knitting a lot because of everything that's been happening with my grandmother. When I stress out or I am upset or, you know, going through something emotional, I knit a lot. I think a lot of us do that, sort of like comfort knitting. So I've put a lot of work into both of my projects. So I'm working at the moment on 2 garments. I do have a shawl, that's the lamina shawl that I was knitting on. I took overseas but I stopped knitting on it. I've put that aside because I really need to finish this test knit. Once I've done the test knit, then I'm going to pick the lamina shawl back up. That's the design by Amber O'Brien. But anyway, this is the test knit that I'm doing for Hohi, Locatelli, and I will show you. It's coming along very nicely. I've got yarn everywhere, and this is it. So I have finished a sleeve, I've finished the body, and I'm now on to the second sleeve, which I picked up. Oh my god, I don't believe it, my bloody stitches have fallen off. Hang on 1 minute. Phew. Yeah, all of the stitches had fallen off except for one side of the sleeve, but I've luckily managed to get them all back on and none of them dropped, so thank God for that. I just don't know, every time I podcast I pull things out and then the needles come out. Yes, anyway, so I have the second sleeve picked up, and I think this sleeve took me maybe a night, or no, not a night, maybe 2 to 3 nights work. So hopefully this one will be the same, and I should have it done soon, and after I do the sleeve, all that needs to be done is the neck. And I think it's just a pick up and very basic knit. I am alternating yarns on the sleeve. I always alternate the yarn in the body, but then I usually try and pick 2 skeins that look similar for the sleeves, because I really don't like alternating the skeins, alternating the yarns in the round on the sleeves, mainly because it slows you down, and as we all know, sleeves just they're just so boring and they take forever, and the last thing you want to do is be trying to fiddling around with alternating skeins, and then they get tangled and then you gotta untangle them, and it's a real pain. But I had no choice because the yarn that I had left was a little bit different. So this has got more green and it's a bit darker, and this is lighter. And yeah, I mean, it's a hassle and whatever, but you put so much work into, you know, your knitting, that I feel that, you know, just that little bit extra goes a long way. Like I'll end up with a project that I'm really happy with, that looks great. And if I don't alternate skeins, one sleeve will be lighter, the other sleeve darker, it'll look really odd. But anyway, I'm using our Uptown sock, and it's in the Eventide colourway. And it's knitting up very nicely, and hopefully I'll get this done soon. I'm not sure, we didn't actually get given a due date. I guess it's, you know, soonish. But I'm guessing with Christmas and New Year it won't be then. So hopefully in the next week, or yeah, I'd say in the next week, hopefully I'll finish this. Yeah. So that is the test knit by Locatelli. This second project that I've been working on is the Portage cardigan by Melissa Schaschwary. I think that's how you say her last name. She's also known as Dandelion Girl Knits on Ravelry. This is a very popular pattern. On Ravelry there's lots of these cardigans. And I think last time I showed you I had just done the cast on around the neck area. But look at this. I have almost a completed body. That's the texture on the back. So I started doing this and I picked up the stitch pattern very quickly. It's really easy. You have to watch when you're doing the raglan because it does sort of change, obviously, because you're adding stitches as you go. But then once you attach the body and the sleeves, like once you start doing the whole body without increasing or decreasing, then the pattern gets really simple. It doesn't change. The only problem was I had done maybe 4 inches worth. Well, I'd done to a certain point, and then I think I was watching TV and I was tired that night. I think it was actually the night I found out my grandmother was actually quite sick and that she wasn't doing too well, and I wasn't really concentrating on what I was doing, and I knit about 4 inches and I looked and the stitch pattern was all wrong, and I tried to drop stitches down to correct it because this is sort of a simple all over cable, and I thought I might have been able to figure it out, but I just wasn't working, so I had to pull 4 inches out. I was just so disappointed. But yeah, I'm glad I did, because it would have looked terrible if I hadn't have done it. So yeah, then I just picked the stitches back up and started again, and honestly I got to where I was pretty quickly. The yarn it's DK weight, which I don't usually knit a lot in DK because of the climate that I live in. It's usually sport or fingering. But DK is great, it just knits up so quickly. This is our Voyage DK, and the colourway is one of our new ones called Sleeping, and it's sort of a pinky mauve. It's sort of like a light pink with a mauve overwash. Overwash? I don't even know if that's the right term. Anyway, you know what I mean. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There's a nice little section down the side, so you've got the front, then just under the arm along the side you have this nice little 2x2 cable that runs down both sides. It's a lovely pattern. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having no problems with it at all, apart from that one time where I stuffed up a few rows. I am enjoying this. I don't look at the pattern, I just knit away, and this has really been great. It's just such a nice project because it's basic knitting, but you've got that little bit extra that keeps you on your toes, and yeah. So I think I have like one more increase to go for the body, because it does sort of come out in a slight A-line. I have one more increase, and then I just knit to where I want it basically, and then I'm pretty sure there's a ribbed bind off, maybe, I can't remember. Yeah, so it's going very quickly, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And of course I've got this in my lovely made by Ganache project bag, which is my Christmas one. I love it. I have no finished objects I do have something that came in the mail. So during Black Friday, or on Black Friday, I was keen to get a few sewing patterns. I was looking at yarn, but I bought yarn the week before, which was, oh, did I buy yarn that week? I think I did buy yarn that week. That was what I showed last week, which was the Wren and Ollie, which I already have plans for. I've already earmarked a project, but I'll show you that when I cast on. But at the same time, Indie Stitches, which I have her card. I'm actually organised today. I think she's based in Melbourne. It's in Australia. She has wonderful indie patterns online. So she had a 20% off Black Friday sale, and I had already earmarked quite a few patterns that I wanted to buy from her, because the last time that I bought patterns from Indie Stitches, I hadn't done buttons, like a button band, and there was a dress, and there was a couple of things that there was a couple of dresses that I had button bands, and I thought, well, maybe if I do a shirt first, see how I go, and then sort of progress. I'll get them later. So anyway, button bands worked, so I thought I'll get these dresses. So yes, I bought 4 patterns. I've got the Helmie trench blouse and tunic dress by Named, and I've heard a lot about this company, Named, and I really wanted to try out their patterns. I think the packaging is really pretty. So you have this little sticker that you undo. I haven't looked at, honestly, this week and last week I have been so busy. These came in the mail, I had a quick look, and then I had to put them down and do other stuff. So I haven't really even opened them up to have a look. So I'm sort of looking at them with you guys for the first time. Anyway, the Helmie trench blouse and tunic dress, I actually got it for the tunic dress, which I'm going to try. It's really nice for summer. I'm wearing a lot of those kind of dresses here. It's just so hot. Even wearing shorts is just too hot. Like a nice, really loose, light dress is just perfect. I love the shirt too, but that will be something that I would make for winter. The next one that I got is made by Ray, and this is Ruby, which is a nice little top, tunic top. You can actually turn this into a dress too, which I will probably do. So there on the back you've got the top and the dress. And I love how they've done this with the plain at the top and then the pattern. I might even just reverse that and have the pattern up the top and the plain dress. I don't know yet, still thinking about it. I also got Grainline Studio, which I have, I've used their patterns before and I've really enjoyed them. This is the Alder shirt dress. So again, sort of, again, another shirt dress. I'm not sure which one I want to go for, I've seen this one with the gathers on Instagram. It looks really nice. I don't know, I have to think on this one. But yes, I think it's really cute. And then finally I got the I Am pattern, which is that the French? Can't remember. Company. Yes, it is. It's the French company, pattern company, and it's called, oh god, Cupidon, that one. It's a cardigan. I thought this would be really nice in winter / autumn. Yeah, so just sort of using a nice sort of jersey fabric. And it's actually connected at the bottom, so it's not an open cardigan, so I guess it's almost like a sweater. So the first one that I am going to make, I think, is probably the Helmie trench blouse, the Helmie tunic dress. I'm going to try that one first, and then I'm definitely going to do this one as well. Or this one might be first and that one might be second, I'm not sure. But for Christmas I was given, because I was asked by my parents and my brother and his partner what I wanted to get for Christmas, and I said, can you please, like, all four of you combine and get me a Spotlight voucher, because I want to go buy fabric. So they did that, because we had sort of an early Christmas when they were up here last week. And Paul is actually going to buy me a Spotlight voucher as well. Oh, actually, maybe. I do need a new pair of swimmers. Anyway, I'll think on that. But anyway, I've got lots of choices and I can't wait to go fabric shopping. I spoke about this last time and I haven't done any sewing just because of everything that's been happening. I still have this pattern which I am going to cut out today. After I finish the podcast, I'm going to edit the podcast, upload it, and then I'm going to begin this one because we are leaving here on Wednesday and I want to have this skirt ready because I want to take this skirt with me when we go to WA. So yeah, it's the Hollyburn. This is the Hollyburn skirt that I was talking about, and someone actually mentioned that Katie of Inside number 20 something or other, I can't remember the number, you know who I'm talking about. She actually did a tutorial on this, so if I get stuck I will definitely be checking that out. So yeah, what else? Oh, and I meant to tell you what I'm wearing. This is what I made just before we left to go to Greece. This is the Charlie Caftan, and this is by Charlie Caftan, I wrote it down, Closet Case Patterns. I bought this fabric from Spotlight. It's a very light rayon. I wore this in Greece and I've worn this so much here because I wear it down to the beach over my swimmers, and if we go out for the day and go for lunch and then go for a swim, or we go shopping and go for a swim, I wear this because it's a nice length where, you know, you don't feel like you're walking around in complete beach clothes. Like it's really comfortable. So I've been wearing this a lot. So if you are into sewing and you're looking for something to sew in for summer, I highly recommend this. You can actually make this a little, I'll see if I can stand up. So it's got the gather. It comes to just over my knees. So what I was going to say is you can make it actually a little bit longer, and this would be totally fine to wear out at night. I was actually wearing this in Greece at night when it was, because we were there at the end of the season and it was getting a little bit chilly, so I would wear this with stockings and it looked fine. So yes, thumbs up to Charlie Caftan, very good pattern. And was that it? No, I was going to talk about, just quickly, I was going to talk about my New Year knitting goals, because there's only a couple of weeks left until we hit 2018, which is crazy. For next year I am planning to knit mainly sweaters and cardigans. This year I knit a lot of shawls, which I love to knit. They're very quick and they're often a lot of fun because you're switching yarns and colours and patterns, and as in stitch patterns. But I don't wear them as much as what I would cardigans and tops, because winter here isn't that cold. I might wear them for maybe a month, but what I really want to do is, yes, knit more sweaters and cardigans and little tops, like what was the one, Caitlin Hunter, the one that I was going to make. It was like a little top with a lace bottom. I'll put it down below. There was a pattern that I'm really keen to make. Actually, I used the yarn for something else, so I'm going to have to find some more yarn, but I have plenty of it. So that's one that I could wear in summer. So yeah, that's one of my goals. I'm also going to start buying sweater quantities of yarn. So I bought, for the first time in a long time, I actually bought, because I mean, you know, having a hand-dyed yarn business, I have so much yarn that I just dye it up and use that, but I want to start using a lot more indie dyed yarn, other people's yarn. And when I do buy the yarn, because I have like a cupboard's worth of it, but they're all single skeins, and yeah, it's kind of a bit difficult to put them together. It's fine for shawls and things, but like I said, I'm really keen to knit more sweaters, so I'm going to definitely start buying sweater quantities of yarn, and that's what I did with Wren and Ollie. So I've got enough to, I actually looked at the patterns and I earmarked one that I'm keen on doing, which is a little cardigan, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm also, with the podcast, still going to continue on every week, unless of course there's issues or something happens and I can't do it. But yes, every week I am going to try and put this out. I'm going to try and record on Fridays if possible and get them up on Fridays. Sometimes Saturdays, just depends. But like I said, next week there won't be a podcast because I won't be here. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to show you. My brother's partner, Claudia, she has a cousin in Chile, lives in Chile, and she crochets these amazing tops. Anyway, she gave me one, and I wanted to show you guys because I wore this out the other night for dinner and it was so nice. So this is the top. I wore it out with a little tank top underneath and it was lovely. So that's it there. Very, very fine yarn. I mean, I can just barely see the stitches. It's just crazy. And she does like a little scalloped edge for the neck. And then the sleeves. Nice sort of meshy sleeves. It's actually, it's a really nice length too. Just sits sort of on your hip. It's quite heavy. I was actually going to take this overseas with us, but it's really heavy. I mean, it's cotton. I don't think it's a cotton blend. I think it's 100% cotton. But yeah, I was just so, it was lovely that she thought of me and got her cousin to crochet this up. And I love the colour. It's my perfect colour. So Claudia and I have similar sort of skin tones, so we suit the same colour, so that makes it easier. Anyway, hope you all have a fabulous Christmas, and yeah, get plenty of time to do your knitting and share time with family and friends, and such a lovely time of year. Really can't wait to get to Perth and see Paul's parents. I will be Instagramming lots of pictures from Perth, so if you follow me there you'll probably see everything that we do. But yes, have a lovely Christmas, have a safe time. I will see you just after Christmas, just before the new year, and yeah, keep well, and until then, see you later. Bye!